We got a problem.
Nobody could have possibly envisioned that the Golden State Warriors will have the worst record in the NBA. A team's fortune can change very quickly in sports. One moment you're on the verge of completing a three-peat and winning 4 of the last 5 championships. Next thing you know, you're picking up the pieces of a physically and mentally drained basketball team. Maintaining the dynasty isn't easy. Obviously, the reward after the season when you win a championship is amazing. But to continue that level of consistency season in and season out is grueling.
The reality is we suck right now. And, hopefully we'll get better. We'll continue working at it and try to get better, but we're just not that good right now. Kind of figure it won't be the same, but I didn't think we'd be getting our ass kicked like this. It's pretty bad.
It takes great leadership, great focus, and unselfish players to pull through the tough months of the regular season. There's a reason why Michael Jordan retired after winning 3 straight championships. The amount of basketball games the Warriors have played since 2015 to 2019 is staggering. They have at least played 100 games per season for 5 straight seasons. Eventually, a player's body is destined to break down. It's almost like the Warriors were not meant to win in 2019. Everything that could have went wrong did. First, it was the sideline argument between KD and Draymond, which I believe kind of fractured the team to a certain extent, at least for a little while. But with the talent they had on the team, that wasn't nearly enough to keep this team from cruising through the Western Conference playoffs. Then Durant got hurt against Houston, and then he was able to come back in Game 5 of the NBA Finals and suffered a devastating Achilles injury. But even after that, the Warriors still had enough to force a Game 7 in Toronto. And in Game 6, when the Warriors were making a comeback, Klay Thompson tore his ACL on a fast break dunk attempt. The frustration on Steph Curry's face captured the feelings of the Warriors team and fans. That was just too much for the Warriors to overcome. Going into this season, most fans thought the Warriors would be able to maintain until Klay Thompson returned around the All-Star break. After losing Durant, Iguodala, and Klay, I knew their defense was going to take a hit. But I believed that Steph Curry was going to play like he did during his MVP years and carry the team to at least the 8th seed. But the way the Warriors started out, there was no way they had a chance to compete for a playoff spot. And in the game against the Phoenix Suns, Steph Curry broke his hand when Aaron Baines landed on it. Like I said, everything that could have went wrong did. But with all the misfortune that the Warriors suffered through this past year, they are actually set up for a major comeback. You could say that this season was a gap year for the Warriors. A year where they could evaluate the young talent on the team and see which ones could help the Warriors reclaim their throne as early as next season. Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and even Kevon Looney needed some time to rest their bodies after playing so many games for 5 straight seasons. The young guys that stood out the most were rookies Eric Paschall and Jordan Poole. The Warriors couldn't have asked for a better pick in the second round than Paschall. He went from trying to just crack the Warriors' rotation to being an important piece going forward for the Warriors. He actually looked like a more offensive-minded Draymond Green. He has the offensive skill set, athleticism, and defensive potential to become a two-way player. There were a number of signature games for Paschall this season. On his birthday in November, he scored a career-high 34 points against the Blazers, and he also scored 17 and 5 against Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. Jordan Poole was the team's first-round selection in the same draft. He didn't have a consistent rookie year like Paschall did, but he did show a lot of promise. He showed he wasn't afraid to make an impact in the NBA. His rookie year started out very slow. In his first 19 games, he shot just 27% from the field. Poole was even sent down to the G League team for a short period of time. But over the last 14 games with the Warriors, he averaged around 14 points a game. In February and March, he shot at least 45% from the field. You also had great play from players like Marquise Chriss and Damian Lee. Chriss has bounced around the league for the last couple of years trying to find a place he can call home. He might have found it in Golden State. Sometimes all a player needs is the right team in the right situation to start the road to a long, productive NBA career. If the Warriors would have won a championship and stayed healthy, Chriss may not have gotten the playing time to show Steve Kerr he can contribute. As soon as D'Angelo Russell was signed and traded to the Warriors, people around the league and fans thought eventually he would be used in the trade. Even though the Warriors denied it, people knew he really didn't fit with Steph and Klay. But it was a great move to be able to get something of value in return with KD leaving. And before the trade deadline, The Warriors took a gamble and traded Russell for the former #1 overall pick in 2014, Andrew Wiggins, a player who has never lived up to the hype of being a #1 pick. But I'm sure everyone can agree that Wiggins makes more sense with the Warriors than Russell did. Just like with Marquise Chris, sometimes a great organization brings the best out of players, from veteran players to young players. Nobody should expect Wiggins to all of a sudden live up to his #1 pick selection. Just being a productive player on both sides of the ball is enough. He needs to at least provide the same impact that Harrison Barnes did when he played for the Warriors. Just be consistent. The Warriors have 3 main weapons they can use to improve the team this offseason. They have the mid-level exception, a $17 million trade exception, and a guaranteed top 5 2020 draft pick. There are 2 areas of concern, are the backup point guard position and the center position. When I think of good players that could fit inside the trade exception, I think of players like Dennis Schroeder and Ricky Rubio, 2 veteran point guards who can come off the bench and run the second unit. They could also draft a point guard like Tyrese Halliburton out of Iowa State. Obviously, you wouldn't pick him with a top 3 pick, but you can trade back. He could be a Sean Livingston type of player with deeper range on his jump shot. A long, rangy, unselfish, defensive-minded player. Obviously, big man prospects like James Wiseman and Onyeka Okongwu are options also. Who knows if Draymond Green can ever give you the same impact he once did. But the Warriors are hoping he recaptures his old style and play like he's capable of. They did give him a $100 million contract extension last offseason. With Kevin Durant gone, you need Steph, Clay, and Draymond to give you the same production and impact they did before Kevin Durant signed in 2017. The league should be worried about the Warriors. I'm sure the other teams in the league didn't feel sorry for the Warriors this season, not even a little bit. But the Warriors have a message for the rest of the league. We ain't done yet. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do it right now for future NBA content.